Good evening, everyone. Nice to see you here. Let's check the connection, please. You see the chat box next to the screen. Please write me something there that you can hear me and you can see me, that everything is fine. I will drop you some flower to check. Hello again. My name is Yara or Yaroslava Trojanic, but Yara is better, more easy to communicate. Hi, Kirsten. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. So before I start to shortly introduce myself, hi Kelly, nice to see you again. I will just tell you shortly how to deal with this live stream because maybe some technical problems will appear before I explain it. So at first, this is live stream, which means it's going online. Hi, Johanna, nice to see you. And so it can be interrupted any minute with some internet connection, YouTube side, my side. Well, I have to say that in 3 years it's happened only a couple of times, so I hope tonight everything will be fine. But still, in case if it's interrupted, first what you can do, refresh your own web browser and see if you can join again. Just refresh the page and join with blue button. If nothing is going on, like if you have black screen, just write in this chat box. This chat box work separately, so we always able to connect without video. So in case if it's on my side, I will write you in the chat that, okay, sorry, it was interrupted. I will restart the live stream and we continue. It's all will be recorded, so no problem. You will get this record after the class. So it will be stored in your personal accounts, so you can watch it later. Hi, Judith, nice to see you. I'm sorry if I pronounce your names a little bit funny or a little bit wrong. It's my pronunciation. English is not my native language. So, but with all respect. And this chat, hi Susan, nice to see you. You can ask me any questions regarding the class, regarding our work, what we're gonna do tonight. And feel free to ask anytime. Don't wait until the end. If you struggle with something, just drop the line there. You can write there, and you can even add picture there. You can see this paperclip sign. So you can add some picture, for example, with your hedgehog in the end of the class, and you can share there anything. I will appreciate if after the class, if you're satisfied, you can write some review on my website and you can get 10% discount for any classes if you join them later, if you will enjoy it and you wish to continue with me. So you will get a personal discount, which you can always add on top of my offers. So it's your personal bonus. But first of all, here we are not for that. We are here for having a little bit fun, felting fun together. I will explain you again in one short minute explanation why we are here. So this project, free classes, I started when COVID started, hit everyone, and we were locked in our houses. So a lot of my travels and work plans, because I do teach offline a lot. I'm traveling and giving some workshops. It's my main job. By the way, I didn't even introduce myself, but I'm crazy felt maker about animals and puppets and whatever form of animals exist in the felting form. So I do for my job, it's my profession. I'm a textile artist who is specializing in puppets. So I do puppets in a big form, hand puppet, and also finger puppets, some kind of interior objects and finger puppets of all kinds. You can see on my website. But lately I'm going to direction of miniature work, and I'm liking a lot now to make some full figurine toys, like a sculpturing, but it's all made with wet felting, because a lot of people asking that I wish to join, but I don't like needle felting. So I do wet felting. It's like 90% of wet felted. It's completed with wet felting fully, but yes, I use needle felting for some parts. You will see tonight also some part of my work, how we do it and how the streams are going while making this cute cushion, pin cushion, this hedgehog. But that's my latest, and this will start next week, this class. It's quite interesting, and I hope you will get some kind of glimpse in my work tonight with me making this hedgehog. So when my classes were stopped, I felt a little bit frustrated, and then I offer to Felting Society, let's join for some free classes to have a cup of coffee and make something small and cheerful. So that's how my hashtag coffee with radish appeared, because this radish was the first object we made together. It was quite a big group of felters who were making this with me. So since that, I was given quite a lot of free classes just to feel connected, feel united. And hi, Madeleine. Yes, we are here. Just refresh and join. So that's how this project appeared. So we have on my website now for you to use a lot of free classes. I know that many people, they don't value free meetings and free classes, because like what can be given good for free, but I still think it's possible to get a lot of free great things, like great nature, great friendship, and so on. So I feel it's kind of my a little bit of investment in felt making society to improve relationships between felt makers and craft people, and also to improve our skills as a felt makers, because even small project learn giving you opportunity to learn quite a lot and feel more free, feel more adventurous in felting. So that's why we are here. So it's not any advertising. For sure, I use opportunity to mention some of my ongoing classes and something else, but this project was for us to be connected. So I hope you will get some fun tonight. Feel free to ask me anything, and I will try to be quick and effective. In the end of the class, I will show you few projects, what you can do with me online already. Like there are records for Christmas stuff. I will just show you on screen here, so you can see and get some idea, and maybe we'll go and make some more presents and some Christmas decorations or some other. It's not only Christmas topic there, but now it's Christmas time. In Finland, we have Little Christmas. It's exactly the time for friends to meet and socialize together. So I'm happy that we're doing it tonight. Thank you for listening. Now I will move my camera to the table. One thing I want to mention that it was some mistake, technical mistake. It was PDF file with patterns and list of materials attached above the screen. It was in Russian language, so I changed it for English, but it was a bit too late. It was on the last minute I noticed it. So thank you for telling me that, but I was a bit too slow to fix it. So in case if you need it for future, now it's all in English, so you will feel comfortable with that. But I will anyway now show you everything, and you can understand without any list of materials. But now it's fixed, it's in English, you can use it. So let's go to my work table. I will just write to Madeleine if she's still here, join. In case of some trouble with connection, please let me know. I will monitor all the time our chat and hope that everything will work just fine. Okay, so now I'm ready. We will make tonight this cute hedgehog pink cushion. Actually, it's for sure it's not my creation in the way that it exists around for a long time. It can be done with just sewing or felting, but I really enjoyed this hedgehog and I wanted to have it for quite a long time because I always used to just put my pins to some piece of fabric or somewhere on the side of my mat for felting, and so it's kind of disorganized and also not appealing looking. And now I'm so happy to have this cheerful hedgehog, so I hope it will cheer you up also later after we finish it. So for this hedgehog, all we need tonight is some sort of wool, any kind. I prepare this South German mountain sheep, which called Bergschaft. I like this a lot for making thick forms like interior pieces. Like it's beautiful. It's 28 to 32 microns, and it's quite easy to felt. It's really like sculpturing clay. I love this material a lot. But when I work with miniatures, for sure, I use extra fine wool to make very very fine textures and very fine, small, sharp details. So with this wool, you can also do it, but it's require very high level skills, which is achievable for sure, but not as easy when you start. So, but for these thick pieces, it's great material. So we need carded fibers. If you plan to work with some other type of wool, for example, in form of these rovings or tops, so then you can lay out it the way you know, just like it is. But when we will stuff the hedgehog, then it's better if you will cut these materials. Then it will be easier to work. I will show it a little bit here and there, but I will work with more rough and carded fibers. I will use two colors, main ones. So for the body light color and for this false area with spikes, I will use darker. And then I will use a little bit of black just to make a nose. And then if you wish, like I use some plastic eyes here, the black ones, just small ones. And if you wish to make the whole hedgehog felted without any plastic, so you can for sure felt the eyes. I will also show you how to do it, and then you can just sew on some cute bead to make it sparkling, or you can even just embroider the black pupil inside. So you can decide how you like it. But I will show you options so you can do according to your taste and your needs and what you have. So that's my main material. Then I need a plastic pattern. You have it for printing. You can draw it directly from the screen. If you don't have anything, you can just simply cut a piece of plastic bag in a shape of this kind of drop. It can be any shape of drop because we will sculpture it with hands, so it's not so important. And then this is patterned for the ear, and that's all we need. Plus, for sure, soap and water, and some needle felting tools like some sponge for dishwashing and the needle. So that's about it for now. And this class I will start with making the ears first. So this hedgehog is a great example where you can test all kind of techniques which I use in my classes. combination, mixed techniques. All the parts like ears, some volume attached parts, I like to use a little bit of needle felting because it's faster, it's more fine pieces, more controlled in the matter of amounts of fibers and the matter of decorations, and also because they dry, it's easier to attach them compared to if we would felt it first with water and then attach. It's possible both ways, but this I find a little bit more fast and more controlled, and I like when it's like more fine, so that's, I find it better. So we will use this as this template as a stencil. So we start with needle felting because then later it will be too wet here. So what we need, we just take a little bit of light color fibers. It can be also dark, but I start with light. So I will prepare 2 even pieces of light fibers like this. Just touch them and feel if they somehow equal. It doesn't matter if it's a little thick, because then you will just end up with big ears hedgehogs, which also exist in the nature. So it will look lovely anyway. So just even, this is the key word. And if you have not carded fibers, but rovings, then you need to make your carded piece. You just pull one draft of fibers, split it in 2 equal amounts. So that's how you already control that it's even. And then just mix it. Pull apart and change the directions. Just few times change the directions of fibers so they would work as carded. Because carded means that there are many directions. So we need to make the same. So pull apart and then change the directions few times. So that's how we prepare a bit of carded fibers. Then you can even break them a bit shorter because we have very small template for the ear, so we don't need such a long fiber. So we can simply break them, tear them a little bit, shorten them a little. So again, we prepare 2 even pieces in case if you have rovings. So then it's the same system. So we place our stencil, our template in the middle. So you can see that this template has a straight bottom, and this is exactly connection part. So on this line, on a straight line, keep a little longer pieces here of fibers because we need to connect the ears to the body. So then we press it and then we poke with needle around like we would do with pen or pencil. So just draw the shape of the ear. So you see I mark it and now I can see the marks. So everything except of the bottom part, now I will fold inside like this and collect inside, and then I will poke a little bit. So we can check that ear is here, shape is here. Then we poke a little bit for making it more stable, just a little. And then we do the same with the second ear. If you never used the needle and today is your first time, so just be careful, keep an eye on your work surface, otherwise you might poke yourself, it's quite painful. But other than that, not to break the needle, always remember to use the same trajectory. So if you work on a side, always the way you put it in, the way you take it out. So you see same trajectory all the time. And then don't poke too deep, because if you see the end of the needle, you can see tiny cracks here. So these cracks help us to tangle the fibers and form a solid texture. So you can see that cracks, they're only on the tip of the needle. So there is no point to poke too deep because we have very thin ear. So we work with very short and not deep moves like that. So now we need to make a second ear the same way. As you see, this is just the beginning of needle felting. So I always use it in the same stage. So I don't produce ready pieces. I just make a blank pieces which can be later attached and used with wet felting technique. But here I can control amounts a little better. And use a stencil to check that shape and size is the same. So now I made two even ears. You can touch them together and feel if some is thicker, some is thinner. You can fix it just by simply adding a little bit, like for example, this ear a little thinner. I can put a tiny bit here to fix it just like that. And then when your ears are ready, so by ready I mean they have a shape of our pattern, they're equal, and they're quite stable, so they're not breaking apart in my hands. So I consider them ready. And now we can decorate them. So you can leave them just light color depending on your hedgehog style, because it can be all single color, or it can be it can have some pink inside, it can be dark inside. I like when ears like dark on the sides and a little bit you can put dark inside, or you can do like this. You can make edges dark and keep the light inside. So for that we just take a little bit of dark fibers. We will place them like this on top of the ear, a little bit overlapping the edges, and then I will poke it a little bit, and then I will turn and fold on this side the dark edges. So I will make the dark edges by just folding and attaching these darker fibers. You can also start vice versa. You can start with front side of the ear, adding edge first and then finishing on the back. So like this. So now my ear look like that. So the decorations going only on the size of the ears, and this is the fluffy bottom which will help me to attach the ear. Now I will make the same thing with the second ear, and then our needle felting for now will be over. As you see, it's really just a couple of minutes, and it's not a very big scale. So now we just continue decorate the ears. Just do it to your taste. If you are a fan of needle felting, for sure you can make it as good as possible. But in general, the idea just to pre-make them, because we will felt them later with wet felting technique. Pre-making means that they need to be right size and keep a shape, so they're not breaking apart. So that's all requirements we have to these blank pieces now. So my ears like that now, and that's it. I can now put away for a while the ears and also needle felting tools. I hope you're doing fine. I will just from time to time I will check the connection, dropping you some pictures to the chat just to check that if it's working fine. After we're done with needle felting, you can, if you feel, you can write me how you're doing with your needle felting part, and I will start explaining the next thing. So if you will, now we need to lay out the wool on this pattern both sides. So I will use carded fibers. If you have rovings, you can simply, in any style of laying out, you can just put some fibers, like for example, like 2 layers crisscross like that, and it's fine. Or some other style, or you can mix it carded and place also. Here we don't have too much of strict rules, because we will stuff the toy and it will compensate all kind of uneven layouts or something like that. So, but if you have carded, I have like these leftovers, carded fibers. So what I'm gonna do, I will take some of it and stretch it to the even thickness. Doesn't matter how thick, but something like just like not very thin, not very thick. And we cover the whole hedgehog, making a little bit wider this layout, so we can fold it on the other side. So just even amount like that. So no holes. I put this way. I remind you that I used altogether like between 8 to 10 grams of fibers. So biggest amount will be light. I will stuff it with light, and then I will use dark only for the backside for decorations. Kelly, thank you. So now we place the fibers. I bring a little bit of clean water from tub, doesn't matter, cold, hot, just something what is comfortable for you. Because now we need just to make it wet. We don't need to felt it, warm up, just we need to make it wet. And I don't make soapy solution because it's such a tiny piece that I feel it's like a wasting to make soapy water. So instead, I just use a piece of soap. I cover my layout with piece of mesh fabric. You can use a piece of stockings because it's such a tiny piece. Take some soap and just drip a little bit of water to the layout. So for sure you can make soapy a solution if you want, but you see we don't need a lot of water, so it will be kind of waste. So I press it with soapy hands, make it flat. And when you make it flat, you can even feel how even your layout. So if you feel like there are some kind of big holes, you can always just add a little bit of fibers. Since we will stuff it, it doesn't really matter, but I just always point it out because that's how you work to make everything nice from the beginning. Like I prefer to control it in every step, not later fix. But just right now I feel it, so I fix it. And then we turn it to another side. And here we can now fold everything to this side. So gently fold. The idea to make it as tight as possible. You can stretch with scissors all the fibers. So the main idea is organize these fibers the way that there are no big bumps of fibers and no big folds. So if there are folds, stretch them gently. Check out that it's now I have a bit too much soap. You see, if it's like this kind of foam, it's not good. But I can deal with that, but always try to keep this soapy part on the side, small bubbles. So if it's too soapy, so what we do, we cover it, we take some piece of cloth or sponge, remove some soap and add fresh water. So the idea that there are some bubbles of soap, but not big foam, because foam disturb the connection of fibers when it's a lot of it. So now I need to add a little bit of fibers here because it's not even. Like I fold it, but I know that some edges a bit thinner, a bit thicker. So I will place some fibers on this side also. A bit more where it's thinner, a bit less where it's thicker. So we just put on this side also some fibers to be sure that we have no holes. This hedgehog making is quite relaxing because there are no strict rules at all. You don't need to be extremely accurate. So now I placed some fibers on this side. I will repeat myself. I will just put a little bit of soapy water here, press it, make it flat again, and fold these tiny bits to this side. So on this side is a bit thinner edges. So we organize it nicely. If it doesn't fold, check out that it's enough of soap, because a lot of soap is not good, but little is also not good, because then fibers, they are not like gluing together. So just put a bit of soap to your hands and press, so immediately everything kind of connected together. So then you can check the edges that there are no any big bumps or holes. It looks nice. And at this stage, we can apply some colors already to Hedgehog, but I prefer a bit different way, again, because I'm kind of control freak. So I will add it later. So for now, my Hedgehog will remain just light like this, and I can start felting it. I will felt it just a little bit to connect the fibers, because it's still ears are missing, decorations are missing. So I cover it with piece of fabric, and then I add a bit of soap, and then I start pressing it. You can press it like on the mat, or you can just do like this. Keep it with your hands and press both sides, like give a pressure, because pressure is essential for felting. When we press, we force the upper layers of fibers migrate inside and connect between. So we're not polishing, but we are kind of massaging. Again, if it's getting too much soap, remember what we do. We just take it a bit away and continue. So just a little bit of massaging. And when we work from the sides towards the center. So we try to make a very tight, and we work just for a minute or two. We don't need to overfelt it because we're still missing a lot of attachments. So we made it a little bit connected. So when you touch, fibers are not moving too much. They already kind of added together. So we can at this stage start working without fabric. If there are no movements of the fibers, then it's completely fine. And just you reach this moment that you can feel that, okay, everything seems to attached, like it's still on a soft side. If I will touch it very hard, I can see that there are moving fibers, but the surface already connected. You see that when I touch, there are no any damage for the fibers, no any movements. At this stage, we stop because we don't want to overfelt. And we make a cut on the upper part on one side of the pattern. Doesn't matter which one, the even. So just make some cut on the edge. It can be a bit bigger, a bit smaller. Must be comfortable for you to put your finger in. And remove the pattern. So now pattern is out, and we get this empty empty layout. And so what we do, this will be upper part of a hedgehog. So I can already now organize it a little bit like a volumed this way, because that's gonna be a bottom. So I make it more flat, and this is your future hedgehog this way. And this moment we need to stuff all our light fibers, what we prepared, inside. And when you stuff it, important that you don't make some kind of these balls and stuff it, because then it will be like potato bag, you know, like very uneven and bumpy. Instead, we use fluffy pieces little by little and start to put it inside. You can, if it's hard for you to reach, you can use scissors a little bit to put it to the nose part, or some chopstick, or just use the fingers. And little by little we fill up the hedgehog. Many of my students, they ask if they can use some other like leftover wool for filling up. Yes, it's possible, especially in this kind of project, but I always prefer to use the same wool for the reason that then it will be connected all together and it will be felted in the same way, because different thickness of fibers, different texture of fibers, they shrink differently. So then the cover will shrink probably different from the stuffing, and maybe it will not work out nicely. Maybe it will. I always say just make a test. But I personally like to use the same fibers because I like how it's behaving like a clay. Because when it's a one quality material everywhere, so it's behave like real clay, and it's great great process of sculpturing then. So I continue to stuff my hedgehog. For sure, you can decide to put less for the nose part, more for the back side. So little by little. As more you stuff, as bigger will be your cushion. So you can decide, there is no mistake here, it's only up to your taste. I have still this much to fill up. So I was measuring like about 7 grams of these light fibers. So but if it already feels like too much, I will stop. It's not a big deal to have it a bit smaller or bigger. Completely up to you. So now I feel that it's quite full. I will put a little more to the nose. Okay, now it's quite nicely filled. I almost finished with my light fibers. I will leave a little bit for fixing this cut. So what I'm gonna do, I will put together this cut and poke with needle just a little bit. And then I will use a little bit of fibers to cover this cut and hide it. So I will poke. So for sure, this is the same idea which can work for any kind of sculpturing if you want to do the same way. I have same class for nice, beautiful Christmas reindeers. So we do it in the same way there. So like this, now it's closed. You don't need to poke a lot. And this is the moment when we can start attaching all the missing parts. First, I will put ears, and then I will decorate the hedgehog. So I will take my ears now. I will open up the bottoms of the ears. And then I will find a place where to put it, just like a couple of centimeters from the nose on the side. And it's now it will look like a mouse. So you can, the same way you can make a mouse, just instead of spikes, we can put a tail, and we can for sure make a pose also and attach the same way. So it's just a idea how to start. So now I connected the ear so it's not falling. And I will place the second ear same way. We could do it in a flat surface when we were laying out, but I find it more better solution because here we can better control the place where we want to put, so there will be no mistakes because now we can see the volume and we can decide more consciously like how we want this hedgehog to look like. So now I put the ears and I can, now it's clear like the mouse, quite cute mouse. And I can fill up the body with darker fibers, which will pretend to be this part with the spikes. But one tip I give you, that you can also put here some other material, like for example, you can put fleece, some curls from the sheep. I have this, it's also free class. We were testing all kind of fleeces from different sheep breeds and made this pin. And here I have some curls. So instead of just a brown wool, you could put curls here, some sort of curls you have. Like I have here something, I don't remember the name, I will not lie to you. So some curls I can also cover the hedgehogs, then it will be more textured. If you like and if you have these opportunities, you can try like this. But if not, just we use dark fibers, darker fibers, yes, and we will cover the body of hedgehog now. So we will just poke it on top quickly. You don't need to sit for an hour and poke, because we will soon use water and soap and attach it properly. Now we just quickly set this decorational part everywhere where we missing these colors. So very quickly attach so it stays. I put it only until the bottom. I leave this bottom part light, so only until the edges of the bottom. So if you would do it on the layout, then you need to be sure where's the borders. So you need to make tests and see how to add these colors. But here we can see with eyes and we cannot make mistakes. So very lightly attach and it's fine. Now only this side missing and then the face. So here I will add also a bit of fibers on the side. I'm so happy that you joined my class. I know that not everybody likes weekends for that kind of things, but my timetable is so tight for this month that that was the only options I could find. But for me, it's always fun to meet because I also, you know, like everybody, craft people, they never have time to make something for themselves. And so this hedgehog fusion was in my mind like for a couple of years. And it takes so little time to make, but you always have another priorities to do. So now my hedgehog already getting into the look of hedgehog, and I will, you don't need to do that. If you want, you can keep the face light, but I will put a bit of darker for the nose tip, and then I will put the nose itself. So now I will just finish this forehead area. And I will put a little bit darkish on the tip because I like this kind of hedgehogs with darker faces, but they exist with light faces also. So for sure, I'm sure your hedgehogs will look lovely and in any way, like any color, any style. Hedgehogs, they're always such a cute creatures. So can be also light brown with pink or even white. So what I did, I just put a little bit of darkish to the edge, attach it with needle, and then what is missing, two pieces, is a nose, and then I will show you the eyes setting. If you want to have the white eyeballs, I will show you how to do it. For the black nose, we need a little bit of black fibers. I have some merino. I didn't have another type of black. So what I do, I will mix this merino into carded. And then what you do, you fold all the edges. This is the nose. So we fold all the edges to one side to shape it like a tiny button, like very tiny. And then this button we attach to the tip of the nose. Be careful with your fingers. And then we need to poke it properly. This is the only part which must be attached properly, otherwise it can fall when we start put water on top. So be sure that edges of the nose is well connected to the surface. So go around the whole nose to attach it properly. So for me, because I will use ready-made plastic eyes, a black color, that would be already done. But if you want to make felted eyes, I will show you how to deal with that, and then we can continue felting, already wet felting. So for eyes, I will take a bit of white. Again, when you make something in pair, like symmetrical, you need to, in the beginning, divide to make even amounts for two eyes. So then we mix it a little bit. Needle felting is only work with carded fibers. So, and then how to make the eyeball. So you place the white to the face, and then you poke it to make tiny circle or oval, whichever shape of eye you want. Tiny circle, and then all the rest of fibers fold inside. Same like we did with ear shape, just here we didn't use any stencil, we just draw the round shape and then we put everything inside. So, and then the second eye. I am not recommending to make black pupil now because when we felt it, it will migrate quite a lot. So the eye will not look kind of sharp. It will look a little bit dirty. Like for sure you can put a black pupil already now and attach it same way. And then you have the eye. But it will be connected together all the colors, so it will be not as clear. So instead of this black pupil, I would just stick to this white eyeball and later just embroider nice and sharp black dot inside, and it will look much nicer. So it's my suggestions because I tried it and I didn't like it. So you can make the eyeballs if you want. I will remove it. So mine will be just plain. And now we can start felting. For that we need water and soap. We don't need any more fabric. We will work without, but if you're afraid, you can start with the piece of fabric. Here you can bring a little bit warmer water if you want, because it's just more pleasant for the hand. And also because it helps us to felt, because warm water is softening the fibers, so they are more ready to felt. But I will just fix the nose a little bit uneven colors. It doesn't need to be extremely even, but sometimes it just visually can make confusion. So here we are. What we do now, we take soap and water and start adding a little bit to the body of the hedgehog. This foam, you can also for sure drop him directly to the pot and work like this. So we need to first attach all the parts to the surface. So gently with soap, we gently pressing and stroking. Around the ears, we attach the ears. Remember, it must be wet and soapy. And very gentle. Check out that your surface is kind of silky smooth, not dry. If it's dry, drop the hedgehog to the water, make him wet. So it's such a now nice to touch the hedgehog. So now I work on the sides of the ears to attach it. And the nose also, water and a soap, little by little. We connect all the parts together. And as further you go, as more you can press, and also you can make the hedgehog fully wet, because if it's dry somewhere, it will not fall. So must be connection everywhere. So no hurry, just little by little. You can also heat it a little bit to force the fibers to connect. But heating, we only start when we're sure that nothing is falling off. So when you feel that it's all connected, then we can be more active. So now this is the fastest and easiest part, is wet felting, because when everything is secured, we can apply strength and force the fibers to shrink. And for the hedgehog cushion, I would say in general, I love when all the felted pieces, they're done very in a strong manner. So it's super strong felted, like very hard. But here it can be kind of exception, because the most important that surface and all the parts like nose, surface, and ears, they are well done. But inside it can be a bit soft, because then it's maybe even easier for you to poke with needles. But I will do it kind of on a more hard side. So I will continue felt. So you can press now more strong. Now it will give a lot of water, so you can squeeze. And we can start to be a little more active. So now we can also shape the nose just like a sculptures, make it more narrow. You can point it up all the time. So like a hedgehogs, they have a little upper nose, and then we attach the ears. Ears by themselves, we also need to felt. So press them and stroke. Later we will use the mat for it, but now we just need to shrink it somehow. So you can press it and roll. And you see here, the idea of felting is very easy explained, that the way we apply our strength, the way it shrinks. So if I will now work this way around the hedgehog, so this way, it will shrink the same way. Like if I roll him like this now, like a sausage, you see the shape of hedgehog changed. It looks long and narrow. You see, like a real sausage, but the pattern was different. Remember, the pattern was this. And now I just applied my strength this direction, and I change the shape of hedgehog completely. So now it's like super long. So, and if I will work this way, it will move, shrink this way, and it will become more short. Like, let's see. So I will now apply my strength to different direction, which was this first direction. and it's immediately start to get back to the more round shape and more fatty and more kind of short. So always when you felt, it's not felting by itself, it's felting according to your moves. So that's why I love it, because here you can work like a real sculpture. I will change my water because again I got a bit too much of salt. So I will bring warm water and give him a bit of bath. It's nice from time to time to make it a bit hot, but hot I mean like that you can touch this water. I never use extremely hot temperatures because they just boil the fibers and shrink them chemically, but I would like to shrink physically because then it's strong felt. So you see, I reshaped the hedgehog. So now you can play. It's really fun to see how it's changing the shape. And you can make your own style of hedgehog. Start with simple shape and then you can rearrange it to something else. So I will now just work for another minute or two to work on the surface a little better, to keep it like very durable and shape it. So nose, if it's too round, you grab the tip of the nose, press to the surface of our mat and work, stroke it on top of mat, like rub it on top of mat. And you see, you can make it very sharp and pointy. And same for the ears. Now they kind of underfelted, that's why they're big. Hedgehog already shrunk, but ears not. So we also press the ears to the bottom and also try to shrink them with a mat so they will become more hard and small also. So we can shrink the hedgehog until we're satisfied with surface and the details. So if you feel that, okay, it looks now lovely and it's quite nice, no wrinkles, very smooth surface, beautiful, it feels felted, ears are nice, nose and shape of the face is nice, then we can stop and simply wash it. So when you wash it, don't be afraid to squeeze. So it must be completely washed off like the whole soap. But if you want it a bit more hard, you can continue. You can just squeeze it like this more until it shrink more, until it's become extremely hard and durable, like a real sculpture. But even now, if it's a bit softish, when it's dry, it will be more kind of hard feeling. But the most important to make surface very well felted, fix the shape of the nose, shape of the ears, smooth the surface of the body. You can reshape also the face, make it a bit smaller, and the body is a bit bigger. Let's see now the hedgehog. So you see my hedgehog, the surface is very durable, but he is still on the softer side. He's not very soft, but still kind of softish. But as I said, that it will be more hard when it's dried, because now it's a lot of liquid, so liquid make it flexible. But ears well attached, they're quite nice shaped, and the nose is nice. So I will consider that my hedgehog is ready. You can also balance him on the surface so it's not kind of rocking back and forth. And whenever you're happy, you just give it a wash. I will wash it now with the cold water. I like cold water for washing, and I will be back to you in a second. I mean, I'm here, just I will not turn my camera to the water tub. Simple wash, and don't be afraid to squeeze. So what I mean that you can wash it like this without any fear that something will change. So like this underwater, okay? So let me also do that quickly. So you can wash first with warm water to get rid of salt, and then just give a last wash with cold water, because that's what makes the felt very durable, is the cold water. So then squeeze all the water out like this. So my hedgehog is here. I will clean the table a little bit, so we will observe the ready hedgehog. So for me now, what is missing is eyes and some little trimming I will show you. And then we can dry it and use. I think, seriously, that it's quite nice, tiny gift for craft person who likes to embroider or quite cute. For sure, you can also attach to the hedgehog some sort of rope or rubber band to keep it. You know, many tailors, they keep it on the wrist here, so you can put some rubber band here to put here with, keep it with cushions, or you can just keep it next to the table. So now I will get rid of water, and then I will shape my hedgehog back while he's still moistured, so it's easy to give all the shaping. And then when it's dry, then it's dry. In case if you're not happy with the shaping of your hedgehog, you want to remake it, just make it wet and soapy, and again sculpture it the way you like. Sometimes I redo my toys, not redo, but giving them some additional work if I'm not satisfied. So here's my hedgehog, and what I would do, it can be like surface can be left like this. If it's fleece, if you use some coarse fibers like curls, so you will just pull off all the fleece to make it fluffy. You can also use a cat brush to brush it a little bit to make it fluffy if you want. If you want just like that, then it's better to trim. So you either make it more fluffy or less fluffy. And if it's less, then I usually cut the biggest hairs off to make him a little more accurate, and especially on the face part here, just to make nose more visible. And around the ears also, like biggest coarse fibers I cut. And then just we're missing the eyes. So hedgehog is ready, and we're missing the eyes. I will show you my eyes setting. So in case if you made the hedgehog like this with a white eyeballs, so then you can use some bead to put inside. I have like, for example, these beads. So just sew on some bead and it will look nice and cute. Or you can just glue the eyes. For sure, it can be also simply fully embroidered without any gluing. But for gluing, you need some tools. First of all, you need some super glue form of gel, the best, so it's not running, so not damaging your surface. Then you need some pin. You need an owl to poke the holes for the eyes. An owl is better than scissors for the reason that it doesn't break the fibers, stretch them. So in case if you make wrong hole, you can always cover it and remake. But if you drill the hole with tips of the scissors, it will be broken and you cannot cover it anymore. So I use the usual cheap eyes, plastic ones. You can buy them in AliExpress or in Etsy.com. I buy like normal black ones. It's called like just a plastic toy eyes with stems. I have 3 mm, and these stems in this case they can be left, so we can just set the eyes and then put a little bit of glue here and just press it, or you can cut the stems completely. You can also like there are some pins which are having the black balls here, not blue but black. You can also just make like this, and that's it, like it stays nicely also with eyes like that. You can also even glue it, but how I do, I will show you. So first of all, I make the holes for the eyes. So we make some hole and we put the eyes. I always first try on both eyes. If I like the look of my toy, then I glue it. So always first set them to be sure that that's how you want your toy to look like. And then we try it properly. And if we like how he looks very funny. So then what I do, I can just put the eye like halfway into the hole like that, and just use the pin with some glue to put a little bit under and then press the eye. But sometimes it doesn't work and stuck in the middle. So what I do instead, I cut off the stems. I don't like them. I cut them off. So for that I use some pliers. I will cut. When you cut, always cover it for safety. So the end of the eye, the stem will not fly to your eye or to somebody's eye. And also don't cover with hands. You might damage your hand then. So just like that. Так, I was doing it so eagerly that I dropped the eye, another one somewhere. So I need to, it's here. Great. Such a tiny. And in this way, so here, some tiny bits of stems, they are there. I will now put my camera a bit lower so you can see a bit better. So we need to have some sort of adhesive tape. I have this construction tape like that, piece of it, and I will place the eye with round outer surface on top of this. So it's like a tweezers now. It's holding the eyes, because otherwise you cannot really hold it in your hands. And then I will use a little bit of glue. And I will add the glue with a pin. So this is the cleanest way to attach the eyes. To the pin, and then to the edge of this cutted stem. So I don't put too much on the eye itself. And then you take your toy, make sure that you have a hole for the eye visible, and then you bring this eye gently to the hole and press it tight inside. And then remove, now it's a little bit stick. And then remove this adhesive tape. And then eye is inside. And then you do the same with the second eye. just add a little bit of glue. Be sure that it's a little glue, because otherwise it can be too visible and it can damage the whole surface of the toy. So be sure that it's very little amount. And then we bring it to the hole and press it, hold it a little bit there. So that's about it. Let's remove this tape now. Let's check the eyes now. If it's too much, like too much hair, you can cut, so eyes would be visible. While it's still wet, you can move the face a little bit, fix it. This. And then just leave it to dry. You can also set the eyes when it's dry completely. So, but usually this glues, they perfectly work on the wet surface also. So you can, or you can, what I usually do, I just set the eyes, I put them in without glue and leave it for drying. And then when it's dried, I just glue it. Because then you can give it one night without gluing. Maybe you will change your mind about color of eye or place, so then you can remake it. And usually we're quite tired in the end, so eyes is quite important. So this is my hedgehog. Then you can just start using it with pins, and you can wrap it to your friend as a gift, and then it's ready. Okay, Monica, I got you. It's too fast, but you don't need to be in the same speed with me, and it's completely impossible, because here I'm just like showing how to make it. You can start with that, and you can go slow little by little to complete it, because we have such a diverse group here that it's impossible for us to be in the same speed. Some of my students, they work much faster than me, and some are just beginners. But I hope that my explanations were clear enough so you can follow them little by little. So just like that. But these free classes I run in the way that I just show how to achieve something, and you can go with your own pace, because that's the only way to learn. Otherwise, we cannot do it anyhow. Yeah, but this will be for sure recorded, and it will stay in your account forever. You can just let me return to the front here. So I completely understand what you mean, and it can be frustrated. Hi Penny, nice to see you. But it can be frustrated when you are too slow and you think that you are the only one who's slow. It's not like that. When I go to learn from other artists, I always the last student, and it's always a little bit frustrating, but it's reminding me that because here I'm like a professional, and it feels that I'm going in a normal speed, but I can be too fast, I know. But that's the way I work, and you can just work with your own speed. Little by little you will notice. For sure here you need to follow me and listen. But if you make one hedgehog and then you will make your own, you will notice how much faster it goes, because then you already know what's going to be ahead, so you can control it, and then it will speed up little by little. Some of my students, they come to my classes, they can make 2 toys at the same time when I make one, because I give a lot of extra explanations. So don't worry that you are too slow. You are just in the right speed, just in absolutely right speed. No stress about it. Just keep your pace. The most important that you understand what's going on, that it's clear for you, that you can repeat it. So then everything is fine. If you feel something unclear, like you're not sure, then it's not that good. So don't be fast, be slow. Slow is the real fast. Kelly looks cute. So one hedgehog is here. So for sure, there are a lot of my students here who've been in my classes many times, and they already very quite a very high level professionals. So, but this class is not for making you down. Please don't feel sad about it. You must be proud that you started your project and you will complete it just a little, like few minutes later than me. Madeleine made a mouse. Yes, it's possible to make a mouse if you just add a tail. You can also add the paws here and it will look funny. Before we finish, I want to, now I feel so sorry for Monica. I hope you are not, that you came here for fun and now you feel a little bit sad, but I don't want you to feel like that. I want you to feel that you bravely started something. So now you just need to finish. And for you, it's a lot of workshops already recorded on my website. I will just show you quickly all my, not all, but most of my Christmas and New Year collections. So you can go and do a little by little with your own pace. So we have like this nice Christmas sock, and I use a lot of glitter. Okay, for sure. Thank you so much that you said that you find. So glitter technique is very great. I created a couple of years ago because I didn't believe that you can add plastic glitter to felt, but it's possible and it stays nicely. So it's felted in. We have there, you can do some kind of nice decorations like for yourself, some accessories, Christmas gifts, socks, cute ones, different styles there. I was making tiny it's called tontu in Finnish. So this is kind of local Scandinavian and Finnish elves. So I was putting it to the sock. So it's like a house spirits. So it's quite cute project. Then we were making same style like Hedgehog. We were making these Christmas reindeers. So with legs and horns made of nice twigs. It's really nice and cozy looking. So this is the same style like felting what we did today, the body, and it's extremely hard. This one is like a sculpture. So you can do like that. You can also do some candle with a candle holder there. Quite nice project. You can make Christmas tree top star like that. Also learn how to shape it. Quite nice project. Very small, quite simple, like mittens for decoration, like for Christmas tree, for example. And then I was making Christmas, beautiful Christmas wreath with felting. Let me show you. So we were using technique how to felt over the wire, and then we were gluing, attaching just some nice cones. Or I also showed how to use the reel, because in Finland is very popular to make it out of some eternal like green, some lingonberry branches or some other greens. So we were making flowers also to attach there. We were making sparkling hearts also, sparkling stars, all kind of sparkling things. It's quite festive technique. Also, we were making a horse for trees. You can also try that. We were making nice gingerbread cookies, a different style also, gingerbread men also, and some other gingerbread. And we were making nice birds. And what else we made? Okay, also for sure you can make decorations like some kind of fly agarics, some mushrooms for the tree, and also it was some I don't have all my collection, but I was also making a very beautiful, really beautiful. I'm proud of them because it was a couple of years struggle of making very sharp and beautiful snowflake. So I made it. I left it at studio, so I cannot show you. Also, we were making nice serpentines and also ice sticks, icicles, and then quite a tricky project, but beautiful. We were making cones, pine cones, or Christmas tree cones. So this is a little bit already like maybe tricky for if you just start to felt. But all my projects, they are possible to achieve. Just no hurry, do it in your own speed. They all between like 1 to 3 hours projects, and for sure if you are first time making it can take a little longer, but whenever you make a second piece you will notice how much faster it goes, because then I'm not talking all the time. You don't need to wait until I give you instructions, and then you already have some ideas how and where to move. It's a lot of mouse tonight. Yeah, mouse is also good, but I'm just thinking of it's kind of voodoo stuff that when you poke the animal with needle, for hedgehog it looks natural that he has spikes, but for mouse maybe it will be painful to get some pin in the back. But it's also possible to make cactus. So for cactus is also good to have these spikes. Any questions regarding the hedgehog making? I shared my collection like partly now for also you can make all kind of also elves different style. So this is quite local in Nordic countries, very popular this kind of house spirits and elves. So it's also available on my website for free. You can go and start making. And some projects you can see in description that timing, if it's like 3 hours, then it's going to be a bit bigger project. If it's 1 hour or 1.5, so then it's going to be something more easy and simple. You can choose, but I always think that it doesn't matter what is your level. It's all about your motivation. If you're eager to learn, then you can just grab the most complicated project and just start doing it. I don't think that you need to start like from very small and easy. Just very small and easy, it's always keeping you up better because you achieve little by little, and it's cheerful that because you get a good result quickly. Then you can get step by step a bit. But if you like something like for example this dragon what we make, it's possible to make even if you have zero knowledge. Just be patient and follow little by little all the instructions and you will achieve. It's a lot of reviews on my website. People just came and they made something first time ever and it works. And I'm sure you will also make. I will really wait for your hedgehogs. If you will be kind to me, please send your hedgehogs to me to see. I will be happy, and Monica also, I will be happy to see your personal hedgehog. If you have any questions and you need extra instructions, you can always send me email, same one which you get my all my information with, that is Bibabo Puppets info bibabopuppets.com. So you can write me there and I will be happy to help. I always support all my students, no matter if they study with free classes or paid classes, doesn't matter. I am here for the strong felt, so I will be happy to support. Kelly saying that it was the fastest I ever felt it. I think it's really the combination of, first of all, the shape is easy. Second of all, it's we made step by step all the preparations in a smart way that everything is secured, so it's easy to start quickly. Less details, and also coarse fibers, they felt quite fast and they're more like catchy than the fine. So I think it's pleasant to make out of coarse fibers. Anyone here? Any questions you have? I will be happy to see your hedgehogs. You can drop them here, or you can send me by email, or you can add them to on a review page, and I will collect this collection and show everyone later whenever we have enough hedgehogs to make a collection. I know it's already going to be some mice there, but it's fine. Let's check. Susan, Judith, Johanna, anybody's making, or you just watch tonight? Sometimes you just watch. Thank you so much. Yeah, my hair is growing little by little. I made it short in spring, but thank you for coming again. It's pleasant that even though you're busy and you know how to felt, you still joining these free classes for fun. I'm quite happy about it. It's like a real society, which I'm hoping to to be in. Nice that you came from such different places, and I feel that you are all in my kitchen now. Fine, it's good. By the way, on my backside, I don't know how visible, but I was also felting. I was telling you that I was recycling this. I bought this cheap in the second hand candle holder. It's like a Scandinavian and Finnish style also. For Christmas time, we keep it in the windows. And I didn't like it was plastic, so I felt it over with white wool, and now I enjoy it so much. It's like a kind of a stylish piece of art to me. I like a lot. And about hedgehogs, I'm a big fan of hedgehogs, and once I was examining the possibility to make hedgehog spikes, so I was testing a lot of materials about spikes, how to make them, all kind of like from mosses, wool, synthetic fibers, yarns, uh, fleeces, a different kind. Also, that was the Christmas tree spikes. Also, that was the bamboo brush I bought from shop. It was quite interesting to um, examine like and look for possibilities how to deal with spikes. I have quite a big collection. Here you can also see another one. Also beads and some seaweed, some branches. uh, this is sand. glue it. These are made out of oven baked clay, some plastic sponge, also again some moss. So this was from dandelion flowers, I think. Yeah, that was big fun to make this observation. Far away from ready. That's completely fine. Again, just quietly, peacefully felt, and suddenly it's ready. It will come, and after, the most important, that after first, when you complete something, that you uh, get this joy of complete piece and understanding of material. And then my biggest advice for people who begin something, or for people who is not satisfied, like I'm the one who is never satisfied with my work. So I was suffering quite a lot if I don't get something done like I want. So then I was um, depressed and like, oh, I'm such a terrible artist and this and that. I fix on non-woolen spikes with glue. For sure, this is like more like a showcase. It's not for playing, but you just use super glue and incorporate it in a ready surface. But for sure, then it's just a sculpture. It's not for playing. I don't say it's extremely fragile, but for sure, if you will play with that, it will fall little by little. Like all these mosses, they are very fragile, or like dandelion flowers, they're fragile, but it was more like an artistic piece. But I use this technique anyway. Yes, I use glue, and I drill the hole with owl and then incorporate piece by piece. Same like we do whiskers for animals with glue. So same thing I do with these spikes. So advice for the for the end of the class, just do it again. That's the only advice which helped me mentally overcome anxiety from something which I didn't make like I want. So just plan based on your experience, plan the second piece. You don't need to do it right away, but for sure when you do it quickly after your mistake or like something which you want to improve, so then you remember your experience better, then you can achieve better result because you already will remember what to fix and what you want to improve. So I always do the second. So, and when you do a third piece, then it's going to be your already own piece where you will use your experience and where you can already start to create something, because then you understand how it's done, and then you want to add something there, like your vision, your like ideas which you got on the way. So that's how it goes. And for me, that's the only way which treat me nicely. Just repeat, and then it's getting faster, it's getting better, and you get more and more excited about it, because for me this irresistible material, it's such a magic. And I will celebrate in a week 14 years of felting. I will have, by the way, discounts on my website also for all the classes. As always, I do once a year for the birthday of my first ever toy. It's a fox. And yes, I celebrate it because when I felt it the first time, I never felt, I never experienced such a excitement, like I got some kind of gift from the universe, because wool made a real, like felt a real magic to me. And by now I feel the same, like when these funny fibers you can manipulate in any shape, any form, and relatively quickly. So it's a magic. I hope you felt like that tonight, at least a little bit. And come again. I hope to run another 1 or 2 classes before the Christmas. So we'll make something else together on these short streams. Mouse too. Mouse. I see, Judith, I see your mouth. I think maybe you felt it a little bit too narrow. It looks like a mouse because it has big ears and small body. So I would suggest for this case, next time when you will felt, for mouse you just need to add some nice tail out of some rope and it will look funny. Make it more felted the way from the nose to the back, so more compact, more round on the upper part. So it must be more thick in this part. So press it this way, squeeze it this way. You can reshape it still. If the ears turn too big for your project, so what you can do, if it's not too much decoration there, you can cut it shorter, make it smaller, and then work out the edges, make them more smooth. So then ears will be smaller, and then the body already will look bigger and more like a hedgehog. So now, because of the ears and because it's quite narrow, it's look more like a mouse. But even this one you can fix a little bit if you want. You can keep it as a mouse and make a hedgehog friend. But you can also try to reshape it, shorten the ears, make them smaller, and it will be more like a hedgehog. Any mouse can be reshaped to the hedgehog again. Like it's no any limits for changing the shape. Just make it wet, soapy, reshape, cut, and you will get hedgehog. So no, not necessary you need to make a second one. You can still work with this first one a little bit. So that, let me see, Susan is funny, very funny big ears. Very funny creature. Susan, I'm not sure, but it feels, just based on your picture, that the at least right ear a little bit underfelted. So maybe you can make it a bit smaller. And also I can suggest you, when you felt something, you can press inside the ear, like for example with some pen or with some chopstick, to make it more volume. So instead of being flat and big, they can be a little bit like this, like volumed, and then they getting smaller by just visually smaller and more volumed and shaped a little bit. Also nose can be narrowed a little bit on top of the mat. So just a little work to make it more like a hedgehog. Madeleine, I think your it's a nice mouse, but it looks like a hedgehog also to me. So could be both. And whenever you put spikes, it will look more like hedgehog. Also, if you brush a little bit the back side, it will be fluffier and also resemble hedgehog more. But for everyone, if you struggle with this hedgehog shape, so for the next one, I strongly recommend you to try a second time. Stuff a bit more wool on the back side. So make it that the nose part has less wool and this part has biggest amount. So then it will be not getting so small and will be looking more like a hedgehog body, not like a mouse body. But I think all of them can be a little bit adjusted to the hedgehoggy side to look like hedgehogs. Yeah, so try to stuff, just weight at least like 6, 7 grams of wool for stuffing. And when you put it, the biggest amount arrange on the back side. So then it will be more like a kind of a mounting there, you know, not just a flat body. Thank you, Kirsten. So I hope to see your nice hedgehog soon. If you have any questions, please don't be shy to ask. I wish you a very good Christmas time and very good weekend. And I hope you will now make more hedgehogs and I will see them. Have a good evening and bye bye.